Windows 10 tutorial for the Olive Free Library. My name is Christine Powers. I'm going to show you kind of a top 10 list of things that you can do to make your Windows 10 experience more pleasurable. But first I'm going to check in on the version of Windows 10 that I'm using so that you can figure out how to determine the version of Windows 10 that you are using. So the first thing I'm going to do is move my mouse over here to the bottom left hand corner to the Start menu. I want to scroll up until I see this gear right here, and I want to click on this gear. At this point, I'm going to go to Update and Security. I want to click here on Windows Update, and I just wanted to come here to take a look and let us see where we can get information about any updates that our computer might need. We want to be running the latest version of Windows 10, and this one says that there's some updates that are pending, and I could click in to get those started now, but I don't want to do that. I just wanted to show you this is where Windows updates happen, and you can make some changes in there. I'm going to close that window and then come back to the Start menu and to the Settings button, and then I'm going to scroll down to System, scroll up to System and About. So right here is where I'm going to find out the version of Windows 10 that I'm using. And there it is, right there, 20H2. Now, this is a new install. I just updated all of this on my computer. So I know it's the latest, greatest. But if you want to verify which version you're using, and it doesn't say 20H2, there's a great Wikipedia page that I've got open right here, and I'll throw the link up there for you, or you can just go to Wikipedia and search for Windows 10 version history. This tells you all about Windows 10, and you can find out about all of the updates. The last major update was made in October 2020, and that version is version 20H2, which is the version that I had on my machine. If you have any of these other versions, you may have made a decision to have an older version for a piece of software that you're using. The original Windows 10 launched, I believe it was July of 2015. That's this first one here version, and then they've had the anniversary update, and then they just started naming them after the month that they're doing updates. I'm recording this tutorial in February of 2021, and there is another major update expected soon from Windows. I think that was part of what was pending in mine. So that's just a quick little tutorial to show you where you go to find out how to update your operating system, your Windows operating system, and what version of your Windows operating system you're using. I know one thing that a lot of people don't like about Windows 10 is the Start menu itself. And you may or may not know that you get to the Start menu by moving your mouse right down here in the bottom left-hand corner and clicking on Start. We're going to go ahead and make some personalization in our Start menu. So I'm going to move my mouse to the Settings button, click on that, and then I'm going to scroll to Personalization. And then I'm going to make sure that Start is selected. You can see there's lots of ways to personalize your computer. Right now we're going to personalize the Start menu, and you just read through these options and make a decision on what works best for you, whether you should have these things turned on or off. You can choose folders to put in the Start menu, and you can even get some help online on using the Start menu by clicking on those links there. One thing that I know, I have a lot of clients that like to turn this off, this show suggestions occasionally in Start. You can turn that off, and those are the little pop-ups that you get, little suggestions when you're performing certain tasks that say, hey, did you know you could do this? If those are more of an irritation than they are a help, then go ahead and turn that off. If you like it, leave it turned on. But right there is where you do some personalization in that start menu. I'm going to close that window now, and then I'm going to just quickly talk about the good old days and the way the start menu used to look. A lot of people miss that, and if you want to just have something that looks like that, move your mouse down to the start menu and do a right click on it, and you can see you get kind of that old school look that you had in your start menu from before. If you find yourself in a situation that you have a lot of windows open and you're getting lost in what is where, and you don't want to go through and minimize each window individually, you can use something called arrow shake. And what arrow shake will do will close all of the windows except for the one that you're using. So I'm going to keep this Google window open. So I'm going to click on my left mouse button, and I'm going to hold down here in the title bar, and you can see I'm moving that around. If I just kind of shake back and forth, oh look, all of those other windows were minimized. They're all down here. I can still get to them. I can see that they're there when I scroll across the taskbar. I can also give it a shake again and have them all come back. Talk about taking screenshots and getting little bits and pieces, taking pictures. Say if you want to take a picture of maybe this Google Chrome icon. Used to be a little bit tricky to do with a Windows computer. You could always choose your Windows button plus the print screen key to get a picture of the entire screen, but it was harder to get bits and pieces of the screen without using third-party software. But now in Windows 10 and Snip and Sketch, you can really easily take pictures. Let's say for this first part, I just want to take a picture of this window. I'm going to be showing you some things on what we're doing here in this is the File Explorer window, and I want to literally take a picture of it so I can put it into a document or make it pop out on a movie for you. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Snip and Sketch by clicking on the Windows key plus Shift and S, and you'll see we'll have some things pop up. Up along here I have these options that I can choose a rectangular snip where I would click and on my left click and drag and draw, and we're going to do that. I could also do a freeform snip if you really wanted to like roll around the round edges of something. I can do a window snip by clicking here, which is what we're going to do, and take a picture of that window. So I got this message that popped up, snip saved to the clipboard. I'm going to click on it, and now I can go on and edit and draw on it and maybe put arrows in there or put some text on to really make it stand out. I'm going to close it for now, and I'm going to activate Snip and Sketch again by Windows Shift S as my command keys and show you the other options. Here are full screen snip. So if I clicked on that, it would literally take a picture of this entire screen, but I want to go back to that rectangular one, and then let's say I want to just take a picture of the recycling bin. I click and drag, and now I'm going to have the same Snip and Sketch thing pop up, and now there's just a picture of the recycle bin. I'm an old school computer user, and so sometimes I like things that are pretty different. But I know a lot of people that like this feature, and the feature is a file extension. In some of the older versions of these operating systems, you used to be able to take a quick look at a file and know what it was by the dot that was after it. .jpg might mean a picture. .doc might mean a document. If I open up my File Explorer window here, I can see I have the quick access. I can see what's on my desktop. In my downloads, there's a PDF. I can see a tiny bit right there. But those little features that told you what it was at the end, the dot after this is missing. Same thing when I go into pictures. There's no dot at the end of that. So if you're a person who likes those things, take your mouse down here to the type here to search window in the search window. And you can go ahead and just start typing File Explorer Options, and you can see I've done it a few times before, so it kind of remembers it. Choose that, and you get this window here. You can move the window around. You can see there's a few tabs, and there's many options in here for you to take a look at, maybe play around with. But I'm going to click on the View option, and what I'm looking for is this guy right here, Hide Extensions for Known File Types. It's checked right now. I'm going to uncheck it. I'm going to hit Apply, and then OK. And now I can see that this image in my camera roll is a .jpg, a photo. If I look in Documents, I can see that's a .docx, a document. If I look in Downloads, I can quickly see it's a .pdf or .exe, a program to install. Just a neat little feature that I like, and I hope you do too. I like this little hack here to add an event very quickly to your calendar without even launching the calendar app. Just take your mouse down to the date in the bottom right hand corner, click on that, choose a date that you would like to add an event for, click down here, and I'm just going to say Valentine's date, and choose a time, a location, click here if you have more details, and then just click Save, and now that's been added to your calendar without even going into the calendar app. Background apps can show you notifications and can be really useful, but they can also be a distraction, use up your battery, waste bandwidth, use up system resources. So if you want to see what's going on, click on the Start menu, go to Settings, scroll to Privacy, and over here, scroll down to Background Apps, and you can either turn them all off by clicking this here, or turn individual background apps off to make your Windows 10 user experience more seamless. This tip is to use emojis, to add emojis into your document, your email, whatever you're working on. And you can do that quite easily by holding down the Windows button and the period key, and then the emojis menu pops up. You can see along the top you have 3 different menus to choose from, and along the bottom those menus change as well depending on where you are. We're going to take a look now at the calculator app that's built into Windows 10. I'm going to come down here to the search field and start typing the word calculator, and I can see that the app pops up here, the best match. I can also see that it's highlighted. I can double click there, open it. I can click here to open. I have options that I'm going to show you. There's another place to get to these options to get to the scientific calculator. And then I'm also going to click on that arrow, and I can unpin this from Start. It's in our Start menu. I can pin it to the taskbar, which is what I'm going to do right now, and then I can click right there and get to the calculator. If I click on these 3 lines here, I can see all of the options that I have for using the calculator in my Windows 10 operating system. For several versions of the Apple operating system, Apple users have had access to something called AirDrop, where they can share files to devices that are on the same network. We have access to that now with nearby sharing in Windows 10, and we can get to it by going to the Start menu, choosing Settings, System, and then we want to find Shared Experiences. And we can go ahead and make some changes in here if you have other Windows devices on the same network, a laptop and a desktop, or maybe a Windows tablet that you want to be able to share files. This is where you go to get that started.